Hello, my name is Helen Eleftheriou. Most recently, I was head of early careers for a global organisation where my role was to recruit graduates and apprentices. Based on my experience as an employer, I'm going to give you some top tips to help you create a CV. A CV is a written overview of your skills, education, and work experience, and most organisations will ask for a CV when you're applying for a job. So, what should you include? Your contact details. This is so we can get in touch with you. Include an email, your phone number and address. Please think about the email address you'll use. For example, ilovenandos.com is not professional or appropriate. A CV is the first time we employers see what you have to offer, so make sure you sell yourself. Now isn't the time to be shy or humble. If you're stuck for what to put in your CV, ask someone you trust to help you. And I'm now going to give you some brief guidance on how to format your CV. So you should start with a personal statement. This is a chance where you introduce yourself and what type of job you're looking for. It's important to tailor this to the job you're applying for so we know how motivated that you are. And this section should be no longer than 3 sentences, so no waffling. Education obtained or predicted grades. We look at this section to make sure you have the qualifications needed, especially if you're applying for an apprenticeship where there are specific entry requirements. And please be honest with what you've obtained or are predicted, otherwise you'll be found out later in the process. Work history and experience. We understand as a school leaver you won't have a lot of work experience, but it's still important to tell us where you've worked and what skills you've gained. If you haven't got any employment, have a think about if there's any voluntary work that you could include. And also think about the skills that you've gained at school, college or work, such as flexibility, self-motivation, problem solving, communication, and these are to be included in this section. Interests and additional information. This is the place to discuss anything else that makes you a well-rounded candidate and that you'd like us to know about you. Include anything inside and outside of school. For example, if you're part of a sports team, any clubs, activities or voluntary work related to your local community, and also add in any languages you speak. And don't underestimate the importance of this section. What I'd also recommend is avoid saying you enjoy watching TV or going to the shops with friends. As much as this is great, I like shopping, it does sound quite generic. What not to include is your age. Your employer is not allowed to ask your age unless it directly affects your job. And also, please don't put a photo on of yourself because it is not something we ask for. Now also, I want you to think about the presentation because that's just as important as the content. A good CV is clear, concise and in logical order. If your CV is difficult to read and is too long, we won't read it. Use headers to keep the sections separate and use bullet points to streamline the information. It also makes it easier for us to read. Use a professional font such as Arial or Calibri and a readable size of between 10 and 12 and no more than 2 sides of A4. And also keep it black and white. Don't add any GIFs or anything similar to your CV or it will stand out for the wrong reasons. Now it may seem really obvious, but you really need to check your spelling and grammar. I've known so many applications to be rejected as it gives the impression that you're not thorough. And if this isn't your strong point, ask someone you trust to read it through and review to make sure the CV makes sense. Every time you apply for a job, tailor your CV to the job you're applying for. You don't have to rewrite the whole thing, just adapt the details so they're relevant. You'll get this information from the job description or advertisement. And also remember to update your CV as you gain qualifications, employment and learn new skills. Good luck and please believe in yourself.